Stop getting stuff from my
It's your Christmas present.
Should I be wearing this?
Always.
All right, we're getting started in about a minute. If you guys can take your seat.
The long one. Oh yeah, like I'm thinking about from my chapter. So Laredo is very political. You know how like Americans say Laredo on the water. You know how that word or something. Maybe like so many years.
I kind of feel like campaigning so hard.
I don't know what you think. That's Laredo itself.
And I didn't get to meet you yesterday, boys.
Members, please take your seats. We're getting started. Well, the next item on the agenda is supposed to be. Hey, can you guys hear me? Sit down. Yeah, I'm good, yeah.
The girl yesterday, what was her name? Sonia. What?
That's what we're
We don't know.
in both of our interviews, he agreed to work. Pretty much accepted it.
It's not live streaming yet. So that's it.
But I guess their board different decided they don't like that. And they
That
felt
both of you were going to be there?
yeah.
And therefore that you were in and they were
I don't know
out.
if it was you.
We're corrupt liars.
By their
Okay,
belief,
I could follow that logic. Yeah.
by their belief, they've been their leader and they've been more loyal apparently.
All right. We have a guest who sponsored our lunch today. So I'm going to recognize him. He's going to take 20 minutes.
We were all
She said that
with her board.
but he told me that he has other places to be. So please come on up. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sponsoring the SREC. And
I don't think she wanted to say that she was just representing. But even then,
Thank you so much, Abraham. Thank you all for having me.
yeah.
They're going to have you try later.
Who I am, and why it's so important that we have conservative, originalist judges on our courts. The first, and I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you've got a lot of important things to do. I've been a delegate to the state convention myself, so going back to my childhood. My dad was a precinct chairman, he still is. We had Pat Robertson signs out in our yard in 1988, Pat Buchanan signs. He took me to state conventions when I was a little kid. I was in a precinct chairman myself. I've been a part of, at a lower level than you guys are at, what you're doing. And so I understand the importance of running this party, supporting this party. I really want to emphasize to you my thanks to you for everything that you do to make the Republican Party in Texas operate and to stand up for our values and our heritage. We have a constitutional heritage, a cultural heritage, a religious and moral heritage that has been passed down to us over the decades, over the centuries, by men and women who came long before us, who settled this place, Texas, when it was a forbidding wilderness. It was a dark place. And brave men and women, not that long ago, maybe 200 years ago, the first Blackhawks came to Texas in the 1840s. And you may have a similar story. Think about when your ancestors came to Texas. Think about the people who came just a few generations before you, who lived lives of difficulty and hardship, and even poverty, danger, that we can't even imagine in this abundance and prosperity that they built for us. And when they came to Texas with almost nothing, they brought themselves, they brought their children, most of them didn't have much to bring. But you know what they brought? What I'm sure that they brought with them, what I know the first Blackhawks brought with them. They brought their Bibles. They brought their faith. They brought the light of Christian civilization into the darkness. They brought the truth into the wilderness. And they dug this civilization out of the dirt for us. And we owe such a debt to the people who came before us, who built this place, who made all our blessings possible. I really think, there are all these political issues that we disagree about, fight about. We stand strongly for our values, issue to issue. But when I look at politics, and as a judge, I'm not going to stand up here and talk about this issue or that issue. I'm going to tell you a couple of things the court has done that relate to those issues, but I'm not going to advocate the way you might expect another candidate to advocate. But when I look at politics, and I look at the left-right divide and the divide between Republicans and Democrats, I think, put all the issues to the side, it comes down to a divide over this. Are we going to honor and respect and carry on the heritage that's been laid down for us? Are we going to honor our history? Be proud of who we are. Be proud of who our ancestors were. Be proud of what they did to make all of this possible. Are we going to honor our constitutional heritage? Are we going to stand for the original meaning of our Constitution, what it meant to the people who enacted it, not what it means to some judge today? Are we going to stand for our heritage? Are we going to stand for our history? And that's what the Republican Party is about. And what's on offer elsewhere is that we want to cast all that aside. We want to throw out our history. We want to throw out our heritage. We want to start new with something different. We don't honor the legacy of those who came before us. And that is dangerous. That is a dangerous way of thinking that infects too many people's minds, even in Texas. Because if you undermine the foundations, then the structure cannot stand. If we undermine and cast aside and denigrate and throw out the constitutional heritage, the cultural heritage, the religious and moral heritage that's been handed down to us, then there is nothing left for all of this prosperity and security and liberty to stand on. We stand on the shoulders of the faithful men and women who came before us. And if we cast that off, we are lost. And above all the particular issues that are on the table that you might have occasion to talk to folks about and to stand for, I'd encourage you to keep in mind that broad vision of why we're doing this and what's at stake and who we're standing for. We're standing not just for ourselves, we're standing for the people who came before us. We want to honor our fathers, as the Bible commands. Honor our fathers and our mothers, those who came before us. And that's a commandment that comes with a promise, doesn't it? Honor your mother and your father, that your days shall be long in the land that the Lord your God has given you. Think about this beautiful place that the Lord our God has given us. And the Republican Party exists to honor our fathers and our mothers, so that our days in this beautiful land can be long and prosperous. That's what we stand for. That's why I'm a Republican. I want to talk to you a little bit more about who I am. I'm the Chief Justice of the Texas Supreme Court. Some of you may I know several of you, many of you. I hope to know all of you. I've been on the court for 8 years. So I started in 2018. I was elected then in 2018. Then again in 2024. So I was just on the ballot. You would have voted for me last November. And I did not realize at that time. So I was running for a 6-year term, and I thought, well, okay, it's another 6 years on the court, and I'm honored to be able to do that. It's such an honor and a privilege to have this job. There are many people who could do it, but I'm one who's been able to do it, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to you for supporting me. But I ran in 2024, and I had 6 more years. And then I did not know this was coming. I didn't expect it to happen, but we had a vacancy in the Chief Justice position because the former Chief Justice, Nathan Hecht, aged out and retired. And the governor asked me to be the Chief Justice. Which is something I didn't expect, but when somebody asks you to do something like that, there was only one answer I could give him. And it meant that I'm back on the ballot in 2026, running for a full 6-year term as Chief Justice. I want to talk to you about a couple of things that have been priorities for me since I became Chief Justice. So we operate as a court. There are 9 of us. Everything requires a majority vote. But as Chief Justice, I get to set the agenda a little bit in terms of all the administrative matters that the court is responsible for as we oversee the judicial branch in our state. And I say oversee the judicial branch. We don't control what happens. We cannot control what happens in courtrooms around the state. Judges are in charge of their courtrooms. That has to be managed at the state and local level for those elections and those office holders. But there are some broad principles that the Supreme Court can put in place. And one of my initial priorities was a new rule that we put in place this year. And it has to do with a case you may have heard of where a judge in Waco was prosecuted by the State Commission on Judicial Conduct for politely declining to perform a same-sex marriage. It was a Christian judge, and it violated her religious beliefs, and she politely declined to perform a same-sex marriage. Her name is Diane Hensley. And right before I became Chief Justice last summer, we had a case about that. And the court ruled for Hensley, and I wrote a concurring opinion that I'd love for you to see that excoriates the Judicial Conduct Commission for coming after Justice Hensley for politely declining to perform a same-sex marriage because of her religious beliefs. But then as Chief Justice, I had the opportunity to lead the court as we made a new rule that establishes throughout the state, this is a change to the Code of Judicial Ethics, which the court is responsible for. And we have a new rule that establishes throughout the state that any judge in Texas who has a religious objection to performing a same-sex marriage does not have to do that. There is no obligation on any judge or justice of the peace in this state to perform a same-sex marriage. That is very clear because of what the court has recently done. Another thing that we've done that was a priority for me is that we've eliminated the ability of the American Bar Association to control legal education in Texas. This is another priority for me, and we got it done. The rule's being finalized later this year. But what happened is that the American Bar Association, which maybe decades ago was a sort of a neutral organization that you might be able to put some confidence in, I don't know, but today they have become pushers of a left-wing agenda. And they were using their power over schools. Schools have to be approved, or they had to be approved by the ABA law schools, and they were using that power to say, you have to have DEI policies, and you have to have all these other woke policies, or else we're not going to approve you. That's going to harm your law schools. So they were coercing schools to implement a left-wing agenda, and the court has put that to a stop. The court has taken away from the ABA the power to approve law schools in Texas. That power now rests with the Supreme Court of Texas, and we will not contribute to our law schools in Texas being pushed around by the American Bar Association anymore. One other issue I want to tell you about is a case, I talked about the Hensley opinion that I wrote last year. Around that same time, we had a case at the court. The legislature had outlawed so-called gender transition therapy for children. And there was a big constitutional challenge by people saying, no, we have a constitutional right to do that. And that came to the court, and the court rejected that. Rejected that constitutional challenge, said the people of Texas have a right to outlaw these procedures. I wrote a concurrence in that case. And I talk a lot about, when I do these talks, and even in a lot of my opinions, I talk about the absolute necessity that we interpret our Constitution based on what it originally meant. Our Constitution means the same thing yesterday, today, and tomorrow, unless the people change the Constitution through the appropriate process. It is never a judge's job to decide, well, times have changed and things have evolved, and the people are a little slow on changing their Constitution to keep up with the times, and so I, the judge, am going to decide that now in this modern age, we need our Constitution to mean something that the people who enacted it could never have imagined. And there's so many ways, in so many different cases on so many different issues where that principle, our fealty to the original meaning of the Constitution, informs so much of what we do at your Supreme Court. But I don't just want to say that. I want to show you how that works. And so I would love for you to get a copy of the concurrence that I wrote in the case about childhood, so-called transition therapy, where I lay out the argument for why it cannot possibly be the case that rights that were established in the middle of the 19th century by people living in the middle of the 19th century include a right to that, which none of them could possibly have imagined at that time. And that the opinion that I wrote has been recognized as perhaps the strongest rejection by any judge in the country of this ideology. The strongest affirmation that the people of Texas have the right under our Constitution to reject the radical ideology of transgenderism. The people of Texas can do that. The people of Texas have the right to stand on the basic truth that's in the book of Genesis and that our whole culture and civilization is based on. That God created us male and female. And if the people of Texas believe that and want their law to reflect that, they have every right to pass laws that reflect the traditional vision of who we are as men and women, and to reject challenges to it, like the ideology of transgenderism. That opinion, we've got copies for everybody. I'd love for you to see it. I'd love for you to just to show you kind of how this all works in action. And if you'd like to have them, Grayson's got them over there for you. I'd love for you to take a look at it and just to see what it is that we do. I don't want to take too much more of your time. I want to close with this, and it's a little bit of a pop quiz, so let's get back on our toes. And does anybody know the preamble to the Texas Constitution? Don't be shy. Any thoughts? Any inklings? So that that's close. All right, so you remember the preamble to the United States Constitution, right? Well, probably memorize this in school. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. Our Texas Constitution has a preamble that I like even more. And it's short and sweet, and I think it encapsulates who we are as a party, and it also encapsulates so much about what it is we do on the Supreme Court and what I believe in and what informs my approach to the Supreme Court. So here are these words that were laid down in the middle of the 19th century by our forefathers, the opening line of our Constitution. Humbly invoking the blessings of Almighty God, the people of the state of Texas ordain and establish this Constitution. That's it. That's it. We can all know that. We can share that. Humbly invoking the blessings of Almighty God, the people of the state of Texas ordained and established this Constitution. And so there are two things about that to remember, to notice, and just jump off the page. Number one, what was the first thing that our founding fathers did when they sat down to write the Constitution? It's a prayer. They humbly invoke the blessings of God, acknowledging their failures, their imperfection, our failures, our imperfections as human beings, acknowledging the reality that we can't do anything about, under which we are not capable on our own of getting anywhere good. And we need God's blessing over this entire Constitution, or else we're lost. That's where it starts. That's where our Texas Constitution starts. And so don't let anybody tell you ever that your faith, the faith of the good men and women who you represent in your parts of the state, that faith does not have an essential role to play in the government of our state and the politics of our state. It absolutely does. And our Constitution acknowledges the connection between faith and government in its very first words. So humbly invoking the blessings of Almighty God, the people of the state of Texas ordained and established this Constitution. So what's the second point right there? That it informs me as a judge about what my job is and what my job is not. Who made the Texas Constitution? The judges, the governor, the powerful, the wealthy, the people. The people of Texas made the Texas Constitution, and a particular people in the middle of the 19th century made our original Constitution. And what matters is what those people did, what those people meant. Not what judges today want those words to mean, but what did those words mean to the people who wrote them? That's what matters. And how does the Constitution change? How does the people's Constitution change? There's only one way to change it. The people have to change their own Constitution. It is never the court's job to change the law or to try to cause the Constitution to evolve or develop. That principle is the foundation of what is happening in your Supreme Court. It's the foundation of how I approach every case before the court. And I want you to know that. I want you to have confidence. That's part of why I wanted to hand out this opinion. I want you to see what we do. I want you to see what I stand for on the court. And I want you to have confidence that you have a Supreme Court in your state that is standing on the firm foundation that I described earlier. We're standing on our heritage. We're standing on the wisdom of the ages that was laid down before us in our Constitution. And we will always preserve, protect, and defend the original meaning of our Constitution. We will never take it upon ourselves as judges to try to change it. That is your job. Last thing, I hope you will come visit us at the court. Love for you to see what we do. Our hearings are all live and available. You can come visit anytime and watch an argument. If you do, you'll see I sit in the middle as the Chief Justice. There are 4 justices on either side of me, and we're very active. We're asking the lawyers lots of questions and digging deeply into all these cases. There's an inscription on the bench in front of me where I sit, and it's been inscribed on that bench for many, many years. It's the long-standing motto of the Supreme Court, the official motto of the Texas Supreme Court, which goes back a long, long time. It's in Latin, so we'll have another little quiz. Sicut patribus, sic Deus nobis.
No.
There we go. Sicut patribus, sic Deus nobis. May God be with us as he was with our fathers. That's your Supreme Court. And that's a prayer that I think all of us can pray in every aspect of our lives. I know that that is the spirit in which you gather here, and I want you to know it's the spirit in which your Supreme Court is gathered. And the words that sit there right in front of me in my courtroom every time we meet. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for everything you do for our state and our party. It's an honor to be here with you today. May God be with us as he was with our fathers. Thank you. The SREC. It's a very, very effective and helpful endorsements. And there's rumors about a primary opponent for me. We don't know who it will be. Or we don't know whether we'll have one. It's somebody who I don't believe is suitable for the position. But the rumors of that, and I could really use your help if you're willing to endorse me to remain the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. You can give your name to Grayson here. We'll be collecting those and being in touch with all of you because I'd love to have everybody's endorsement on the SREC. It will mean a lot to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Justice. First of all, thank you for being here. And I wasn't sure if he was going to ask for the endorsement. There are judicial restrictions on all of these candidates, and I wasn't sure, but I was going to ask for him anyway. Our judiciary is one of the places our foundation is being challenged today, all over the United States. And we need constitutional, conservative, Christian people who are on the bench to continue to fight this fight that we're having to fight today. So, I love the resolutions, but let's put some of that into work by endorsing someone we know who can stand for us at the Supreme Court, regardless of what the pressure is. So I am not going to endorse because if I ever have to go in front of him for our party, I can't do that. But rest of you, please do endorse if you can. So thank you for being here, sir. Thanks for sponsoring lunch and more importantly, speaking to us and explaining the Supreme Court. Before we go to party work report, which is next, I'll take 1 minute. I have 3 members that I'm going to recognize. Gwen, where did you go? This is your 75th anniversary?
No, not 75th.
That's what you wrote. I don't think one like that's not, right? 75th birthday?
Anniversary. But it's not the 75th anniversary either.
Okay, well, Gwen, this is your anniversary. Thank you for spending your time with us. And yes, please take the pictures. No. Now I'm confused about the next person, but I'm gonna. Cheryl Draper, she's not here. I believe today was her birthday. So, and Rolando, your birthday was yesterday. That's why you didn't join us. You didn't want to spend your birthday with us? Okay. Well, happy birthday to you guys, and Gwen, happy anniversary to you. I know. That's what I was thinking. Well, we will resume the business of the party. We will do the partnership report. Then we will go to the new business right after you. So, come on. Partners, Robin Cooper.
Miss Susan, Daniel. But I know a couple are gone, so that's her thing. I want to say thank you very much for our prior organization. We've been meeting once a week for several months. We did the last couple because of Thanksgiving and holidays, but we've been getting some participation from the county chairs, and so we're encouraging more participation. So please, if you're up to the county chairs, encourage them to join us on Monday evenings. We do not meet on that final Monday, just to be clear. And we are working towards Chairman Jordan's initiative to build up our GOP University. And we are in this right now. We do have a lot of content pretty much finished for the first, actually the second course that we've been working on. We've got content for the third and fourth course. We're working through that. And then also, after meeting yesterday, we've decided that we're going to jump into the fifth course, which is the Road to Convention, so that we can support this amazing initiative to get all of our delegates to the state convention. So we want to make sure that it's very clear that they know how to do it and that sort of thing. And we are blessed to have several SREC members who have put together great information on how to do the Road to Convention. Of course, Miss Karen Marshall is one. She has offered up a book that she has written a few years back. We're going to update that slightly. And then also, of course, Virgil and Miss Becky Green have a great YouTube that I've had tagged for several years on my YouTube, so I know that there's some great information on there too, so we'll probably be pulling from that and be chatting with you. So I just want to let you know that we are working towards that. I think the content, we've got a lot of great content. I think the hardest part is processing that content, so we'll be looking towards RPT a little bit to get things streamlined and get those out so that everybody can have that. And I know Dorinda's been going around the state really trying to push that. The other thing we wanted to, that we realized is accessing the course and making sure that it's an easy process for the new people to get on there. And so we'll be working on that. And then summarizing, getting those certificates, because people are very proud to get those certificates after they've taken the courses. So we love that that they're taking that on. Let's see. Let's see. I think that is. So that'll be good work. Things that we need to get done fast, and we're going to be working on that. So that is the conclusion of our report for party organization.
Thank you so much, Robin. All right, we're going to go to new business. Yeah. No, not yet. It's not 150 yet. So
No, it's 132. Your fault.
the idea was we will take up new business prior to 150. Isn't that what 150 is? Yeah, it's prior to 150. Okay. All right. Are you guys ready for? I'm assuming it's a resolution. Ready? All right. New business.
Mr. Chairman,
Yep.
I have a resolution which was accidentally left out of the report because it got lost in the shuffle. And if the secretary could bring it up on the screen. It's the resolution on parental rights and substance abuse treatment for minors. And I tried posting it on Signal and everything. It was submitted duly in time, but didn't make it. And I don't think this is going to be objectionable to many folks.
I guess I have an objection from the resolutions chair.
What happened?
Mr. Chairman, to set the record straight, it was in the packet, nobody moved it in committee. So in order for it to be on new business, it means the committee did not take it up, and it can come up in new business now. But it was not left out, we did not forget it, nobody moved it.
Okay.
I'm not on that committee, so I couldn't
I'm
move
going to
it.
need you to, we need to suspend the bylaws to do this. Because,
May we suspend the bylaws to consider this resolution, sir? Oh, and I'm Karen Marshallowski, 26.
So, the motion is to suspend the bylaws to take up the resolution for
Parental rights and substance
Can you
abuse
guys pick that
treatment
up?
for minors.
Okay, so this was not moved in the committee. No one moved or seconded, so that's why it got left out. It wasn't left out, it wasn't moved. Okay, we're going to need a record vote on this.
You know what they have with that stuff with it? No, did they take down? Yeah.
Okay, it is not a record vote, so we have a motion. Do we have a second to suspend the bylaws?
Point of order, can bylaws be suspended? That does not sound like that.
We have a provision in the bylaws how we suspend the bylaws. We have a motion and a second. Are there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Bylaws are suspended for this specific resolution. Now I'll take the resolution.
Thank you. This one is of a special interest to Hayes County because they have lost some minors recently. Currently in the law, a parent cannot keep their child in a drug treatment program. Let's say their child has been under the influence of drugs, they've met a dealer or something. They can be put in a treatment center, but they cannot be kept there. They might check themselves out. Even though they're under 18, the parents do not have the ability to keep them there against their will. And recently in Hayes County, one of those then was dead 2 weeks later of an overdose. So because these guys don't even have a fully developed prefrontal cortex, the parents should still have the right to care for them and take care of their medical care. So I urge you to help us urge the legislature to correct this oversight in the law and uphold parental rights.
Thank you. Is this on our live doc? Can the members see it? Have you guys read it? Are you guys good with this? I have not, so that's why I'm asking. All right. Are there any discussion on the resolution of the resolve clause? Seeing none, any other discussion on this resolution itself? Yes, ma'am. If there are no, are you speaking against it?
I'm speaking for.
Well, if there are no objections, we don't need to go into discussion. Do we have an objection to the resolution? All right. Seeing none, let's go to vote. It's a record vote. All in favor of the resolution, please click A. If you are against, nay. Please click B. And if you are abstaining, C. 1 for yay, 2 for opposition, C, 3, 4 abstain. Yes, sir. Can we get? We're not there.
I don't. So do you have a chance?
Okay, have all members voted?
Sorry, I run a
Voting is closing in 3, 2, 1, with 56 yeas, 0 nay, and 1 abstain. The resolution passes. Okay, now I know where the 75th came from. Is Cheryl Draper's 75th birthday. Mr. Saul. Gwen, you were not married at 2, I get it.
I have to know more about that gentleman.
All right. Yes, he was first. I'm going to recognize him. Go ahead, John.
I move for the adoption of the following motion, which is a resolution on funding allocation related to the governor's grassroots participation gift. It's a very positive resolution that deals with that. I have submitted it to Virgil Cruz, and I'd like to see if some people can help me pass this out to the body. I have 64 copies. If anyone will be willing to help me pass this out, just to kind of, but it's a resolution that's very positive about the governor's gift and how we might allocate any abundant proceeds that come out of the convention, not as a result directly of the governor's gift, but as a result of the windfall that could potentially happen. They're potentially allocating a percentage of it. Essentially what this resolution does is it applauds that gift 100%. It applauds our chairman, and it quotes him in the resolution. It quotes our attorney general. It quotes also our president. And it says that we would love to, when we have additional income, allocate a percentage, a small percentage of that additional income that comes in from our convention as a percentage. So if nothing new comes in, well then this doesn't happen. But if something new comes in, then we'd allocate a percentage of that income to the fight for closing primaries.
Okay. We're going to need, there's a couple of things with this resolution. Can you give me a minute to read it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we'll get it. One, first, we need to suspend the rules for the resolution first. Wait.
It's new business. The reasoning also, sir, for the addition. Okay.
Does everybody have a copy? Anyone still need one?
Thank you.
I appreciate the effort on this. This resolution is out of order, primarily because the funding comes for a specific reason, and the funding will be used for that. No, let me finish. Okay. Funding will be used for that. And the other thing is, the closed primaries budget is not part of the convention budget. We're not doing this.
Yes, sir.
This is how we
That's not what the resolution
stop
says.
talking.
Well, you're talking about my resolution, sir.
Yes, I'm talking to the body. Stop talking until you are recognized.
Yes, sir.
The funding for the convention comes into the convention bucket, and governor's funding to the convention is for the convention's purposes.
Yes.
If there are any money left in that bucket, that at that point the SREC can do whatever they want to do with it. This is how you lose donors, by taking money from one bucket and moving into another bucket. I appreciate all the quoting and all of this good stuff. I appreciate all the praises you're giving me, but this is not how we do things.
It's not a reallocation. I'm sorry. Do I get an opportunity to respond? Or?
You can challenge the ruling of the chair if you want.
Well, I unfortunately need to because you're misunderstanding the resolution.
Point of order.
I say that respectfully.
Point of order.
I challenge the ruling of the chair.
Yeah. So, there is first, no, there isn't. Do you have a motion to suspend the rules to take up your resolution?
In new business, I understand that we can do this under new
No,
business.
we can't.
Okay, well then I move to suspend the rules. This is not a resolution
You
to
need to
reallocate
stop
the governor's
talking,
gift.
or I will have
You
you
just
removed from this
argue.
body. Jeremy, every single meeting, this gets into between you and me. I do not appreciate this. Either you act like a responsible member of your ST.
I am a responsible member.
Okay, then do it the way that you are representing your ST. Or you can get the hell out.
Well, unfortunately, the chair is engaged
So-
in debate rather than being a chair.
So, first we have a rule. We have a motion to suspend the rules. Do I have a second? We have a second from Susan Lucas. It's a simple majority to do it. All in favor of suspending the rules, say aye. Aye. All in opposition on suspending the rules? No. Say aye. The nays have it. The motion fails.
The chair engaged in debate instead of being the chair in this moment. And you actually misrepresented my resolution.
My job. Sit down.
Your job is to debate.
Point of order.
My resolution was misrepresented, sir.
Mr. Chairman, point of order, there's nothing on the floor.
Yes. Do you have a motion?
Yes, sir. Leslie Thomas, SD 22. I've sent it to the secretary. I move to amend something previously adopted September 6th by striking 10 and inserting 13 to include the following. Should the Texas government protect our young Texas workers by prohibiting state institutions from hiring HB1 OPT visa holders and any other foreign worker? Number 2, should Texas should ban the practice of taxpayer-funded lobbying, which allows your tax dollars to be spent on lobbyists who work against the taxpayer. Number 3, Texas legislators should require all power generators in Texas to meet uniform reliability standards and should eliminate taxpayer-funded subsidies and credits for unreliable green energy. It takes 2/3 votes. I would like to speak to my motion.
Hold on a second. This is a resolution. So this is not a resolution. So we're taking up a motion to. So we're taking up a motion to amend something previously adopted, which is on our last SREC meeting, that we're striking number 10, which was number 10, and including. Okay, adding 3 new propositions, basically. Right?
Mr. Chairman, request for information.
Yes, sir. Give me one second. Let me figure out what we're doing first. So, at this point, we did send this to us.
Yes. Yes, sir. It's out of order.
Did we translate it? In 3 languages. Okay. Wonderful. So the last meeting, the regular meeting, we had our proposition conversation. I'm just going to clarify, correct me if I'm wrong, so I can understand it as well. We had adopted 10 ballot propositions. We compiled the Secretary of State. This goes on our March primary ballot. Secretary of State requires us to translate everything, and we also had the editing committee edit out the grammar. And we submitted all of that to the SOS. You're asking me to amend that to add 3 more. Okay, all right, so we have a motion. So 2/3 because it's, okay. All right. B. Yeah. What if we take it? What's the next step? Operational. All right, so what we've done so far, the committee has given us the ballot prop, the body approved last time, and the work of the party have so far is we have translated it to Spanish and Vietnamese, and got that approved, submitted to the SOS, and it's in process. I am going to roll this out of order. If you guys want to challenge me on that, I'm fine with that. This is going to create a lot of problems, but I'm going to roll this out of order because the whole point of last meeting, spending multiple hours on this, was to have all of these debate, and we ended the debate. We had the agreement of having 10 ballot propositions. We debated the to exhaustion on the whole thing, and it's up to you guys. I'm going to roll it out of order.
I appeal the decision of the chair.
Yes, ma'am. So do I have a second on appealing the decision of the chair?
Second.
You have a second. All right. I'm going to speak first.
Mr. Chairman, I have a request for information
Yes, sir.
on this that you didn't recognize before a minute ago.
Yes.
Has the document fully been transmitted to Secretary of State?
Yes.
Can the document be amended at this point?
It's up to the SOS and us. We got to figure it out.
Yes, it's
That's the
fine.
question.
I checked the codes again.
I have the floor, thank you. If the document can't be amended at this point, Mr. Chairman, is an appeal in order?
It's not.
It's the cut the tree down motion. If we move to cut the tree down, we've cut the tree down, we can't regrow the tree. That's the problem here. So that's the question is, has the tree been cut down yet?
Well, we submitted the final version to them. And the idea is because they have to put all of this together for especially for military ballots. And they move that fairly fast. They do their typesetting for all of the counties, all of those steps. So we did our job. There was a reason why we didn't wait until this meeting. We wanted to do it earlier. That was the reason we did that. If the body goes and challenges this, I'm going to have to go back to the SOS and ask them for a favor and see if they would deal with it. If they say no, I'm not suing the SOS for something else. We're all doing it.
May I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Leslie Thomas, SD 22. The ballot propositions have been, I will grant, the ballot propositions have been, I do not dispute that they have been submitted. But when Committeeman Evans asked whether they can be amended with the Secretary of State, I noticed that the legal counsel shrugged their shoulders. I know that, I think it's section 172, Texas Election Code, .008788, whatever, that they, first of all, if a candidate, it follows the same law that a candidate follows. So if a candidate wants to withdraw, they can do it. So the party can withdraw their ballot proposition and submit new ballot propositions. They have to do it by December 8th, at the same time that the candidates have to do it under the same law. Then the party has 5 working days to submit that to the Secretary of State. When the chairman said that the discussion in Corpus Christi was exhaustive, I challenge that because there are 3 people at the mic waiting to be recognized, and they were these 3 amendments that I have included. And the previous question was called, and the debate ceased. And I say that it was unfair because on the Friday before, the Resolutions Committee met 3 times, 11:30, 4:30, and 7:30. On all 3 of those times. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I just have a point of information. Did you say who are you? Point of information, Brandon Hodges, SD 31, Chairman of the Point of Information. My question is, if we're currently in a lawsuit with the Secretary of State, don't we have a conflict in discussing anything that would go to the Secretary of State based on the line of logic last time?
We're suing the Secretary of State, nobody else is.
Mr. Chairman, Steve Evans, SD 28.
I see what you're saying, I appreciate it. I like stuff like that.
That's kind of neat. I rise in support of your ruling, Mr. Chairman. To say that the previous question was called and that was unfair, that is absolutely protection of this body, to protect the minority. 2/3 of this body said we're done.
Point of order.
No, you don't get to disrupt the speaker. Please.
If it's a point of order, that's
No,
interrupting
that
the
is
motion.
not.
It's an
That is
interrupting
not
motion.
how it works.
It's an interrupting the motion.
Not interrupting the speaker, interrupting the procedure. Yes, sir.
We're in an appeal, which is a different type of point of order, by the way. That was absolutely exercised by this body. The microphone was recognized. The previous question was moved, and 2/3 of this body said, we're done. We've debated these till we're blue in the face. Love you to death, Leslie, and appreciate what you're doing. It's your right to do it, but we need to move on. These have been translated. These are ready to go, and although we do have, well, I'm assuming we have the ability to go back and amend it if we beg forgiveness. We're going to open Pandora's box. What's the next motion going to be made? We've already debated this list.
The deadline is the
2/3
8th.
of this body have already said that we're
Not
done.
Pandora's box, it's a deadline.
Appreciate it. Anyone in favor of challenging the rolling of the chair? Sir. 50 minutes.
I respectfully understand that the Secretary of State's office is not going to be happy to hear from us again, but I believe that we have dedicated volunteers who will provide the translations in a efficient manner.
That is not those. Go ahead.
All right.
Yes, please. Sorry, that was my bad. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that.
And therefore, I was one of the ones who was waiting at the microphone last time, and I got cut off. And I just don't believe that the best of the best were all included in the list of propositions that will make us appear the best and the strongest party to our voters when they come. I want the ones that are going to really bring people who have issues and who are currently struggling with these things in their communities to be brought out to the polls, because the best thing about the propositions is to drive voter turnout. And we want issues that's going to drive voter turnout. We've seen time and again that taxpayer-funded lobbying is one of those things. People ending green energy is another one of those issues. Protecting children and protecting our country are other issues that turn people out. So I just want the best possible ballot. Well, those are the three propositions.
No, you're speaking against my ruling.
Yes, and so therefore, I think that your ruling should not be upheld, because I want these to be added to the ballot, please. And I feel like it was cut short last time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Are you in favor or opposition?
In favor of your ruling,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rolando Garcia, SD15. In addition to the logistical problems with the Secretary of State, at the last meeting, we agreed that there would be 10. There was a lot of discussion about this, and we said we don't want too many propositions because the ballot is already really long and voters are getting tired. So let's have 10. And we spent hours debating, not just debating, but prioritizing. Okay, these 3 are fine. I have 3, I have 5 I'd like to add. But we already agreed on 10. What is the point of agreeing to 10 when you can come back to the next meeting and throw in more? Why these 3? Well, we all have a couple that we'd like to add, but they didn't make the cut. We had this debate, we prioritized, and now they want to reopen the debate. Please uphold the chairman's ruling.
Thank you. Are you in favor or against the ruling?
I'm against the ruling.
Yes, sir.
For the exact same reasons that Karen is, and chiefly number 2. This is one of our biggest issues statewide. So I'll make that.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to speak one last time, then we'll finish the deal. I understand, honestly, I support all 3 of us. In fact, I had a couple of them that didn't make it either. That's the part of this process. I advocated, I don't usually advocate for resolution. I stood up and spoke for 2 resolutions multiple times. Neither of them got it put in, which is fine, because that's the process that we use. Now, I do want to say this. December 8th is the last day, according to Leslie. I'm pretty sure it is true, just same as the candidates. We have literally 1 business day to go and properly translate this. submit this and get everything going in. It's not only somewhat impossible, it probably can be done. We just need to find the right people. We'll probably have to spend a little bit of money. All of that is possible. The question is, do we want to do that? Because the idea of even making the ballot even longer, honestly, I asked Andy to keep it at 8 ballot proposition, because we want, not only we just want to put it out there, we want to campaign on these things. So this was one of the reasons we want to keep it short and to the point. So that was the reason why I'm ruling it out of order. So now we're just going to go to a simple vote. It's a simple majority, am I right? Yeah. So to sustain the ruling of the chair, you're siding with me? Yay? Is that right, Steve Evans? Right. Okay. To sustain the ruling of the chair, press 1A. Oh, we're not. Okay. All in favor of sustaining the ruling of the chair, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Nay. That's a record. Record board is requested, and we're going to go to the record board.
Point of order. There's a threshold for a record vote.
I know. To have a record board, we need 11, right? 13 members. We can do that by standing. To have a record board, we need 13 members.
We're winning, Red Raider. Why are you so mad all the time?
Not angry at all. I just hate you.
They do.
How much?
We have exactly 13.
Where do they go?
All right, have a seat for record board.
Hey, don't mess up the records.
So, if you are in agreement with me for ruling it out of order, press 1A. If you are in disagreement of my ruling, press 2B. And if you're abstaining, press 3C. 1A, 2B, please. Deborah. This is not Greg Murphy. That's it.
Greg, I got you. Keep going. Drive one more time.
Mr. Mueller's proxy here.
Sorry. Can we show you voting without a
Which way are you going?
A or B? Oh, there you go. We got it.
All right. So let's do this. Okay, with 42, the ruling of the chair is sustained. All right. Who was you were here? Yes. Yes.
Okay, Kristen Whitley, SD1. I would like to move resolution calling for the immediate corrective action by the Texas Education Agency.
All right. Can we have a motion to suspend the rules to pick up the resolution?
Move to suspend the rules. Second.
Have a second? All in favor of suspending the rules, please say aye.
Aye.
In opposition, say nay. The ayes have it. Rules are suspended for the resolution. Mr. Nelly, please explain your resolution.
Okay. I think that some of the most important work that we do as an SREC is to protect children. I think we've seen that time and time again with our legislative priorities. First, with banning the pediatric mutilation, gender mutilation of children under the governor's leadership. I've been honored to chair the committee for Stop Sexualizing Texas Kids. I'm so proud as a body of that work and what we have been able to achieve. What we know is that there are major problems in public education in Texas, and these problems are systemic. It's not one school district, and I appreciate some of the institutional knowledge that certain members bring related to what's going on in their own district. but frankly, these are systemic problems, systemic failures. Salina ISD is a great example. It's used in this resolution related to sexual abuse. Every single day, you cannot turn on the news in Texas and not hear about another case of abuse. And we don't just see it with sexual abuse, we see it with physical abuse as well. And at the same time, academics are failing. This is a systemic problem. We need more oversight and better oversight and changes, major changes at the Texas Education Agency. And as a body, we get to be a voice calling for that. And that is what this resolution does. We just heard from our Supreme Court Justice, who talked about what an important voice we have as SREC members in endorsing. Let's use our voice and call for institutional change at the TEA, because there is nothing more important right now than correcting the problems in public education. Thank you.
Hear, hear! All right. Have all members been able to read the resolution? No. No? You guys need a second? Gotta give you a scroll. All right, we're gonna take a second to scroll the resolution. I'm assuming, Kristen, I'm just gonna ask because for clarification. Kristen Dudley?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask you, this is basically replacing the previous resolution that was pulled out of order primarily because.
Yes, it is.
But
yes.
This is the better version you drafted. Okay.
I think this is even better than the replacement version that we had. We had another version of it. I think God works in so many great ways, as aggravating as it is, and as aggravating as we get with each other sometimes.
I'm sorry for being the aggravation.
I know, Abraham had me hot earlier, I don't know about y'all. And so, but it worked out better because we have a better resolution as a result, a stronger resolution that puts us in a better position.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
All right. Any amendment to the resolution? Yes.
I just have a point of information or a statement to the author of the new amendment. I just like this body to remember, as you're reading through this, as we're dragging it down, millions and millions of kids across the state of Texas, over 50%, 64.6%, are not at grade level in reading and cannot read what is scrolling down your screen. I just wanted us to remember that as we are fortunate enough to be able to read that.
Well, thank you, sir. That's not a point of information. Appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, SD 26. I have a curious to have more kids. And that would be to eliminate the name of.
They're the ones that get
The name of Commissioner Mariah. Mariah. Yes. To eliminate that and just correct it at the agency itself.
Your amendment is to strike the word Commissioner Murat and say.
Just
say Commissioner or PEA?
No, just take that whole thing with the Commissioner and just direct it just
to Texas Education Agency. Okay, just replace Commissioner Murat with Texas Education Agency.
Correct.
Is it multiple or is it just there? Honestly.
Eliminate the direction to the Commissioner himself and refer
to the agency as a whole. Okay, so the amendment by Kiko is to remove Commissioner Murat's name and replace it with Texas Education Agency.
Chairman, all over, just
yes,
it all over,
throughout the resolution. Okay, that's the amendment. Do I have a second on the amendment? You have a second? Yeah. Well, we're not at the debate yet. So basically, we're removing the name of Commissioner Mike Morat and replacing it with the Texas.
don't know, man. Being all day, it is one thing.
James, please have a seat.
Tell me the timestamp on the text that you made.
Yeah, no, I want to.
Only copy me. He's sharing.
Can't hear.
All right, we're just clarifying the technical side of this. The amendment may not be needed. Is that what you're trying to say, Kristen Manley?
That's correct.
Okay, so what we put up on the screen had Commissioner Mike Morat's name on it, but that's not what the resolution was. The resolution had an updated version, the one she moved. We're just gonna. One second, standard excuse.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. I can't fully read the whole thing, just. Okay.
You're not reading the right one anyway, so we'll get there.
He's one of the 61.6%. Only read 60.
Yes, he may not read the amendment, is what we're trying to say.
We don't want to hurt an adult's
And the RBC is having literacy issues here.
The final version is coming up. Let's look at it, and if it doesn't need it, the amendment.
Did you get mine? It's easier to check your spam, your auto. She said it's 33 out of spam.
All right. Public education.
Great job. There's some spicy ones too.
Okay, are we ready to put out a new one? Okay, this is the correct version of the resolution, which does not have Commissioner Morat's name except for one place at the bottom. So Kiko, I'm gonna rule your amendment out of order from the previous one. If you want to make an amendment to this one, you are recognized to do that.
Just to preserve what I believe is the intent of the chair, and to have this passed without any problems, just completely eliminate the name of the commissioner. If you take the TEA, then the TEA has to do it. It doesn't matter whether Joe Blow or Mary Doe are the administrator.
Right. It depends if he's still employed up there, right? The idea is the TEA needs to do this.
Right. That's my motion, or my amendment.
Right. Do I have a second for that amendment?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Kiko, do you want to explain your amendment? I think you did.
Well, first of all, I believe that I'm interpreting the intent of the chair correctly, and that is not to step on the toes of the executive of the state, and that is the governor. That's number one, who has the power to remove or not, or keep agency heads. That's number one. So what we need to do is address basically the action of the TEA, which is really not Mr. Morat, or whatever his name is. It is actually the TEA itself that passes the rules and address it specifically to the TEA.
Let him finish. Okay. I do want to correct 1 second on your. My intention was not necessarily about Governor Abbott. It was more about employee or committee of an agency really don't matter much because he could be removed tomorrow. But if the resolution still stands for the next employee or the next commissioner, then that's what the idea is. We're after the agency, not after an individual. Even though he is in charge today, he may not be Monday. I don't know. I'm not saying that, but
I respect that opinion, and I'm with you. I join in that opinion.
However,
I want to add that I don't want to step on the toes of the governor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So let me respond. Krista Goodley, SD1. I would consider this as an agreeable amendment, but let me make something clear. This body, or I'll speak for myself, I am not here to advocate or protect any person. I am here, and this resolution is about children, and it is about the children of Texas, and so, but respectfully, the Commissioner of Education, Commissioner Morath, oversees the TEA. And so if we are passing a resolution requesting more oversight and more accountability and for change at the TEA, then that is already implied. Commissioner Morath is already implied as the one that we need to provide oversight to. And so if it helps to get the resolution passed, to me, it doesn't matter. We can remove Commissioner Morath's name. We all know that he leads the TEA, and so he is, the buck stops with him. I want to correct something though, and Kiko, you're wonderful, and so it's not, and you can't know everything, right? No one can know everything, even a great attorney like Kiko. But the commissioner is the one that rules on a lot of these cases, and so, and he has ruled poorly on a lot of them. And so, but I will find if I can accept that amendment as friendly.
Okay. There are no friendly amendments technically, so if you're good with it, if the body have no objection of removing his name, we will take that amendment and we'll just go vote for that.
That's right.
No objection. All in favor of removing his name, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. The amendment passes. Let's go back to the resolution.
I have an amendment.
Yes, sir.
Rolando Garcia, SD15. Go to the first, their be resolved section. Go to number 2. And I would like to strike everything after Salida ISD. So I would like to strike and unchecked charter expansions amid histories of misconduct.
Okay. The amendment is strike everything after, which is and unchecked charter expansion and amid historic misconduct. I have a motion and a second. Are there any discussion? You want to explain?
Yeah. That phrase, that clause was basically left in, unintentionally left in when the resolution was being reworked. And it gives the impression that we're against the expansion of charter schools, which obviously we're not. The Republican Party strongly supports more charter schools because it gives more education freedom. So this removes that confusion while keeping in place. Obviously, we want to condemn the TEA's slowness in responding to the sex abuse. So this removes unnecessary language.
Okay. Do I have any more discussion? If not, we'll vote on that. All in favor of the amendment to remove the language and unchecked charter expansions amid historic histories of misconduct. Say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Amendment passes. Are there any more amendments? If not, we can go back to the resolution. Seeing no other amendment,
let's vote on the resolution itself. All in favor of the resolution, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Press 1A. In opposition, 2B.
No.
And if you're abstaining, 3C.
Just watch football. Yeah, I don't think yours do both either. So I'm not singling you out.
My chair's not working.
Are you guys? Are we all good?
Yes.
Voting is closing in 3, 2, 1. 55 yeas. 2 abstentions. Resolution passes. Seeing no other business, we're going back to our original agenda. The other half of the business, convention committee report from our convention chair, Galen.
That was partnerships and coalitions.
Moving back to my corner so I can plug in.
Can you do both of them? Let's do it. She saved you 5 minutes.
You're welcome. I can do it both at once. Partners and coalitions committee members, please stand and be recognized. We wish David Wiley the best. He has left us to go be Denton County Commissioner, and we welcome Patrick Wamhoff to the committee.
You upgraded. You upgraded.
Yes, thank you. Yes, okay, enough of that. We have one group in our committee report to approve as a partner. It is the Texas College Republicans, and that's
We have a motion from the committee to accept Texas College Republicans as a partner of Republican Party of Texas. Do we have any discussion? If not, we can vote. All in favor of the committee report, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition, say nay. As a partner. The ayes have it. Texas College Republicans are a partner.
Mr. Chairman, request for information. Who are the Big 12 champions?
I am not advised to answer
Well,
that.
man, we got what we came for, so what do you want to do? Yeah, kind of.
No problem.
So it's official now, like, yeah, pretty much. Anybody can do it.
Okay, so we appreciate that. Thank you for welcoming. It is for all of you that will be confused with the names, it is the Texas College Republicans. So thank you for that. Moving on to convention. So it's been a whirlwind weekend about convention. So we appreciate all the support and all the information, and look forward to a great convention in Houston, June 8th through the 13th. Please make sure that's on your calendar. We will have precinct conventions, SD conventions, and then the state convention, and we are going to just blow the roof off the GRB Convention Center with delegates from all across the state. So be sure those dates are on your calendar. Watch for emails and information coming from the center. Okay, thank you.
Next. 8 through the 13th of next year, of June. Next one is legislative priorities committee report by Jerry Fisher and Leslie Thomas.
Okay, before we address everybody, let me tell you,
This was the hardest working committee for this last session. We had 43 legislative priorities passed because of y'all. It was amazing. Thank you guys. If you had any part of the legislative priorities, please stand. If you went to the Capitol, if you sent an email, thank you, Betty, thank you. It's because of y'all that we got 43 passed. Amazing. We started January 14th, and I would have been locked in my office at home from January 14th until September. But we got it done, and I appreciate y'all so much. We could have done it without Mr. Thomas. She was the...
Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. Oh, no. Okay.
We have an update, and I would like the subcommittee chairs of those sections to give their updates. Dr. Melinda Morris.
Hi, everybody. As you remember, I was chairman of the subcommittee for Secure the Electric Grid. I want you to know that Secure the Grid has taken on its own life beyond the legislative session. It's known now as Secure the Grid Coalition. It has a national recognition, a state recognition. We've got grassroots and county officials continuing to work to support the grid legislation. So I just wanted to give you that update.
Okay, Stop Sexualizing Texas Kids. You all know that between the two sessions, we've had 13 bills passed related to our legislative priorities. And I want to mention some updates for lawsuits, because you probably heard, or maybe you haven't, that in the news, that SB 12, which was passed in the 88th session by Senator Hughes, it's the bill that prohibits obscene performances in front of children in the state of Texas, was just upheld by the 5th Circuit Court of Appeals. It is the so-called family-friendly drag performances in front of children. We have a lot of our laws that we pass for protecting children challenged in the courts. And that is okay, because we are changing things in such an amazing way through the courts that we have in place right now. So we want bills that challenge bad rulings that are out there. And so that's a really good thing. I do want to tell you there's a bill, SB 2420, the App Store Accountability Act, that is our latest bill to be sued, a bill that we endorsed. And you're seeing a lot of information on this one on X, because big tech is very against it. They want to try to portray it as a path to digital ID. It is not that. If you have any questions about that bill, I want you to please feel free to come and ask me about it. The last thing I'm going to say is that we, for too long, have treated the digital marketplace differently than the brick and mortar. And Texas is finally changing that and paving the way to implement the same protections for children in the digital world for obscene content that we have in the brick and mortar. And that is a good thing. Thank you.
So I just want to thank everyone that worked so hard for the Texas Land Bill, making all your calls, going to the Capitol. And I'm proud to say that Governor Perker, Governor Abbott, Trump named this the best bill in the nation and is advocating for other states to adopt it. So thank you all so much, and we're proud of y'all. Thanks.
As you know, Jill was a dear friend, and we did legislative priorities. I was a driver, I was a bag carrier, so we were really close, and we shared things. And one of the things she wanted to do as the LP committee matured and grew is that she wanted a recognition for those superstar LP members. And that is what we were able to do today. Galen designed our pin, and when you see this pin, you have to know that this is not just the regular LP people. These are the superstars. These are the ones who put in time and treasure above what they were asked to do. So we're going to recognize the grassroots non-SREC members later, but I'm going to recognize the superstars in the SREC. So Janera Lewis, who's homesick. Love you, Janera, I know you're watching. Kristen Bentley, SD1, Stop Sexualizing Texas Kids Chair. Deborah Kelting, Fife, SD7. Band Democratic Chairs, and the land bill. Dr. Melinda Morse, SD13, Secure the Grid. Andy Eller. If you're a committee member, you know you're going to get calls to Texas Head this way. Andy Eller, SD29, Election Integrity Chair, got more passed than we ever thought would happen. Becky Green, the Miracle Maker, SD17, Medical Freedom Chair. Amazing what she could have done, what she did. Greg Murphy, SD14, in Federal Overreach Chair. Rachel Gordon, SD30, Secure the Border Chair. Committee members, Brenda Estes, the amazing Brenda Estes, who kept us in line, SD15. Jerry and I would not be successful without Brenda. I mean, Virgil had to say, Leslie, I think you really could use Brenda on your team, and we thank you, Virgil. Kelly Perry, SD19, Secure the Border. Christiana, I want y'all to listen to this, Christiana O'Connor, SD14. Jeremy Story, SD5. Ken Moore, SD11. Susan Lucas, SD5. And Susan, I think your card's out by my desk, but you can come up. Non-committee members, those who were not on the committee but did way more work than a lot of committee members. Galen Devine, SD11. Paul Hale, SD1. And Lucy Trainer, you're not here, but we love you. Have fun on the campaign trail. She was amazing in medical freedom.
Thank you, guys. The next item on our agenda is election integrity. Dale Illman, you're recognized, sir.
We don't have a whole lot that came out of our meeting yesterday. I guess we're kind of in a holding pattern as there's nothing going on critically. Some items that did come up was about poll watching coming up. That's something we definitely want to do. We were talking about updating some videos maybe on YouTube. I think Ken maybe had that suggestion, or somebody about some training. If the RPT was going to maybe put some fresh videos out on poll watching. There is some online now that you have to take if you're going to be a poll watcher. You get a certification that you're a poll watcher. But then we had the conversation about we don't want to get too much of what we're looking for, like strategies to put those on there. That might have to be more at a local level for a poll watching for election integrity. Also, it came out, I don't know if it was Brenda maybe said yesterday that precinct chairs, currently under Texas law, precinct chairs are not required to be registered in their precinct. That came up yesterday in a discussion on that. They have to resign there, but they don't have to be registered there. And it says like the only catch in the whole election thing that they don't have to be registered. It says resign, not registered. So that came up yesterday. We had a discussion saying, look into that, and I know we'll look into that. And also, if anyone's having trouble with Teams at the SOS website, I see a couple heads going yes. That's statewide. That's a problem with the statewide website. Everyone's having those problems. It's not turning out nearly as efficient and seamless as they thought it was going to be. But I've had several people say it's causing a disaster for filing for us. I know in Montgomery County we did our own separate spreadsheet. We're doing it completely separate from Teams and then uploading as we can. But if you're experiencing that problem, that is a known problem. It's statewide, it's not you. Some people say, well, maybe it's me doing it wrong. If you're a boomer, you probably felt that way. If you're not, you probably knew it was them. But in any event, that's what we looked at as well. Again, not a whole lot came out of yesterday. We do want to clean up voter rolls. That's almost something that has to be done at the precinct level, maybe, or, you know, and I would say if you're a precinct chair, please do work your precincts. We always say those precinct chairs are the front line, the backbone, but a lot of precinct chairs get those titles. They kind of settle in, show up every 2 years. Some of them don't even come to the meetings a lot, but encourage your precinct chairs, especially if you're a county chair, tell those precinct chairs how critically important it is that they are working their precincts. That is really an important deal, and I know it's human nature to get busy with so many things, and that's the easy one to dismiss. But try to have clean up your precinct roles in your precincts that are for the whole county. If anyone else, if no one has anything to add, that's what we came up with yesterday. And I do want to say thanks to Andy and the committee. If you're on the committee, if you can either stand or raise your hand. I came kind of at the tail end. Andy's way over there, hiding out, I guess, in the back. I asked to stand. Mr. Elliott, recognize, would you please stand? Let's give Andy an applause. You heard him just do with the LP a moment ago. Yeah, we look at and keeping all that done. And who was it that I had in my notes I lost? Who was it that caught the same-day registration? One of us last meeting or 2 meetings ago, said they're the ones that caught. Oh, she's not here. That's it. Yeah. I was looking around who it was. That's right. It's Tony Trevino. So we did get that same-day registration block, and that was a real critical catch right there at the end. So praise the Lord for that. That's all I have. If you have any suggestions for EI, contact me or email me or call or text, whatever, until we get going back up into this next cycle in March is the election. We want to get poll watchers and poll workers trained and ready to properly handle that election cycle. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. We appreciate it. If there are specific concerns, especially related to what Dale mentioned about SOS teams or any of those things, please do reach out to Rachel Hooper or the SOS hotline. But for you guys, reach out to us. I think we have a better relationship with the employees there because we're talking to them almost 5-6 times a day. So we can help really fast to the county parties and the county chairs. So next item on our agenda is the local government by Rob Fight.
This will be real quick. We only have one person currently endorsed for a special election, January 31st, 2026. That's Colleen Aguilar Epstein for the Plano City Council, place 7. So if you're in the Plano area, be sure to vote for her. Previously, we had endorsed in Collin County Pamela Sardo for place 4 in the city of Josephine. She was successful. John Campbell was also elected for the Princeton School Board in Collin County. And unfortunately, Julia Smoker finished in 4th place and it just took the first 3. So that's my report. Thank you.
And the deadline to file is February 13th.
So, local government report. Now we will go to military partnership.
And there will be about 100 bonds and vaders on the ballot.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ready permits in 21
Can I get all the members of the Military Partnership Committee to please stand? Thank you very much, Patrick Von Hall, Bill Inman, Leslie Thomas, Dr. Belinda Morris. The others are out. Yeah. So our main objective of the MPC is to encourage the county CECs to encourage their military population to get involved in the political process, whether that's be a precinct chair, a ballot poll watcher, things of that nature. So, and then also bring up issues that they may be facing within the military apparatus. So we want to be a resource to them at the state level, and that's the reason why we exist. That's our report. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Randy. One of the things that you just when I share this now instead of talking to you ahead of time. I've been working with some congressional members to try to see if they would help us with the registration of our veterans at our next convention. I think we will get some of that when we do. You guys take over and share all those information. So thank you, Randy. And the next item on our agenda is the volunteer committee. This is the committee this week. Wow.
Also, if you're on the veterans or you're a veteran, I've got some land, a couple hundred acres in San Saba, Texas by Sean Penn that they own. I'm bringing some veterans out there tomorrow afternoon. We'll be there all week. If you'd like to come out for the day, for the whole week hunt, let me know. We've got a bunch of 0311s, PTSD guys out of Montgomery County I'm bringing out there. But it's 275 acres, big house, indoor plumbing. It's ours. We don't lease it. It's our property. So if you'd like to come out there, just stick it for the day, stick your head in. We'd love to see you. It'd be good for the veterans to see the SREC supports them.
Okay, if my committee would like to, I have to say that because they never followed any directions the whole time. They did exactly what they wanted to. If they would like to stand up, I had Susan Lucas, Lucy Trainer, Rolando Garcia, our only man, Maggie Witt, Karen Marshall, Ed Gephardt, Jan Casino, and Susan Fountain. We had specially added Cheryl Draper Thompson, and at the end, Duranda came in and saved all of our behinds. I just want to say.
Stand for a second, please.
Well, maybe he will get them to stand. Yes, thank you. You see what it was like. But anyway, I just want to say, with Maggie, she was the first one to get a donation. She did a magnificent job on the table decorations. I want to say this. At one point, there was a discussion and somebody wanted to move something on the table. I looked at him with fear in my eyes and I said, no, you cannot move anything on the table. Maggie's in charge of the table. We weren't going to change a thing. Of course, we had Susan Fountain, who did a lot of work preparing that booklet, getting it started. And, I'm not going to forget Ann. Ann was a superstar. She put together a list, tried to keep up with all the rest of you that were running all over the place, that we were trying to keep up with who is your volunteer, and were they going to come, were they not going to come. It was like herding cats, and it really was. So I just want to say, with all that said, it was a rocky road, and I will say this, bad planning on my part, having it during the time when I was going to go through my first filing season in a huge county, not good planning on my part, but anyway, it was a rocky road, but we turned out, the most important thing is we did not lose money. We actually came into the black, and I want to thank everybody who helped us out with that. Everybody came, in the long run, everybody got busy on the team and decided to come to the table and make this thing work. And I think y'all all had fun. I had the last laugh as those of you guys that were, you know, kind of, when I called you on the phone, chewing me out about different things. I had the last laugh because I watched all of you and you had a good time. Y'all were all so happy up there. The volunteers, they were happy. So the most important thing was we honored the people who really do the work. Well, we do too, but the people who are behind the scenes, not here in the SREC, who are doing the work for the party. And that was the most important thing. I want to say our volunteer, I'm sorry, our volunteer committee and numerous people across this group have come to me and stated that we want to do this again. So that was the most important thing. You may have all kind of been naysayers this round, but you all want to do it again. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Gwen and the committee. That was an amazing event. You guys put that together. All of you chipped in and made that possible. I think every single one of you either found a donor or donated yourself. So thank you for doing that. And it was, I know I spoke to many of those volunteers and it meant the world to them. So God bless you all for doing that. With that, our committee report is over. We did the new business. I do want to make a couple of announcements, just clarifications. You will get the budget in your packet or in an email today. Then we will have a call on Monday for the SREC meeting. Then we will go, not on Monday, but we will send a call out before the end of the year. We will get the budget passed. The next SREC meeting is scheduled to be in early part of February. I'm going to send you an update on that. We may not meet that early because we're just finishing this, and it's only a month and a half from now. I don't think we have to. If we have to, we will, but we may end up meeting after our SD conventions. That may be better. So, we'll probably do it in the early part of April. So we'll get you an update on all that, make sure that everyone is getting the emails, and we'll go from there. Yes, sir, do you have an announcement? Yes, as you did ask me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chuck Burnett, SD20. I want the body to be aware there's a group in existence called Likewise. They are putting the Bible in the school system during school hours. They're presenting the gospel. They're growing very quickly in Texas. They're here in Texas. I've got some little brochures outside, little red flyers out here. I encourage everyone to please grab one of those, learn about this group, let your pastors know, let the community know, but you're trying to get the gospel in the public school system during school hours. They're being very successful. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for being here today. And I apologize for being tough, but that's what you hired me to do. Well, somewhat. Let's have an amazing Christmas, and let's finish the filing next Monday, and let's not get any rejections. If you guys, please, if you guys need any help with the file, call and talk to your county chairs. Ask them to call us. The last thing I want is not have a candidate on the ballot. So let's make sure everyone's filed, everyone's on there at every county level. Yes, one last thing. As part of the announcement, please don't leave yet. It's a 1-minute video from our former chaplain. He wanted to be here, but he has an event. He resigned to run for SBOE in an open seat. He wants to share that video if you guys can do that.
Christmas. This is Pastor Harrison Huddleston, and I wish I could be with you there today, but I sadly had to resign as your chaplain for the Republican Party of Texas so that I could run for State Board of Education District 9. I want to thank each and every one of you for the last 2 years, the relationships, the friendship, all different things that we've done, how we prayed together, how we fought together, but mostly stood strong against the wicked forces that are trying to tear down our state and our nation. As I move forward into this race for State Board of Education, I ask you to pray for me, support me, encourage me. Over the last 2 years, my life has totally changed by being a part of this great party and effort in our state to keep Texas strong and to keep our nation even stronger. Chairman George, thank you for believing in me 2 years ago and asking me to serve. I hope that I've served you well, and I plan on serving our state as the next State Board of Education District 9 Council member. God bless you, and have a Merry, Merry Christmas.
Thank you all for being here today. Drive safe. We are, without any objection, we are adjourned. Merry Christmas. Don't miss those emails. We're going to be sending you emails.
Okay, guys, you got a lot of deadlines coming up. So we've got the primary deadline on Monday the 8th, 6 p.m. Applications must be received, not sent, not postmarked, but received. So hound your county chairs if you need to get those turned in. And then we've got the primary itself. We've got the deadline for local elections, for May elections, is February 13th. So right after the deadline for February 13th May elections, we've got the early voting for the primary that begins the Tuesday after that. So you're going to have a lot of people who file for county or for local elections who are then campaigning while your primary candidates are campaigning and getting votes. And then right after the primary is over, we go into the convention cycle with precinct conventions and county SD conventions in March. And then April 20th is when early voting starts for the May elections. And then first Saturday in May is Derby Day. That's local elections. And then end of May, we're getting ready to head into the June convention. So get ready, buckle up, get your calendar out, make sure you set lots of different alarms in your phone for all these different deadlines, and I'll see you at convention.